So, Lady Killer is a book made by Joelle Jones and Jamie S. Rich, and I've been a pretty big fan of Jones for a long time. I think her art is extraordinary. I just really like the way she has this kind of very slick look to the characters, on top of also being kind of beautiful, or also ultraviolet. So, this series is kind of highlights her best qualities as both an artist and I think as a storyteller, because this is like a crazy comic. So this book is exactly what it kind of looks like. It's about a housewife who's actually kind of an assassin or a hit woman, and Josie is her name, and she is pretty much one of the most brutal characters I think I've ever seen in this medium. Like, we usually get characters that murder people, usually hitmen, kind of just go in and pop them in the head and they're done. Josie, on the other hand, likes to use, knives, sledgehammers, multiple different types of weapons to do the murder, and she pretty much will get the job done no matter what. She is a great assassin, and that's her mission. And this library edition collects two arcs, and I'm going to go over why I really enjoyed the first half and why I think the second half is good, but doesn't quite live up to the first half. So as we're flipping through the pages, you can kind of see that the first half is very much Josie just kind of balancing her life as being a wife and a mother, doing some funny moments of cooking, and then going on an assassination mission of just hitting someone over the head with a sledgehammer. And I'm laughing not because it's bad, because it's absurd, but it works so well here. And that's really what the first book is, or the first half of this book is mostly just kind of focusing on her doing missions. You kind of learn about the agency she works for. You learn that they are, well, shady, and it's very much kind of mixing housewife with assassination career, and that's so cool to me because it really blends very well together. The art is phenomenal, as you can see as I'm flipping through it, both brutal and then beautiful. We'll go into like this beautiful house setting outside in a garden, and then we'll go into her just murdering people in vicious ways. So the first half really highlighted why I love this series. It's one of my favorite first halves of the book. And if you like anything like, think of like kind of weird like Dexter, things like that, you're really going to enjoy it. Now, why I think the second half is weaker is because we get into more of a cat and mouse game. It starts as kind of a mentor, like, kind of telling her, it's going to be okay and we could do this together and blah blah blah, and then it gets into, of course, betrayal. And it's not bad, it's fun, but it's missing the heart, or I guess it's missing the balance of the first one. It doesn't really come as a shock, and the ending kind of felt like it was too nicely done, like they put a bow on it instead of making it vicious. I thought the end of the first arc actually had a really surprising death at the end that really took me by surprise, whereas this one kind of just felt like, yeah, everybody is going to end up that way. So I thought I was a little let down with the second half. Saying that, it is still a lot of fun. The deaths in the second half are just as good as the first half, and the art is still phenomenal. So, I can't hate it that much. I just think it's weaker in comparison to the first half. Saying that, is this library edition worth it? 100%. The biggest reason you're buying this book is the gorgeous art. If I were to like break it down, I think the story probably would get around a 3.5 out of 5. I think it's solid, it's fun, it's fast paced. You have to kind of just have the suspension of disbelief, but it's good. However, the art, so good, so freaking good. And of course, the best part about art is when you get them in bigger editions, and this library edition is huge and very much worth it just for that alone. I cannot recommend it enough. You can get this honestly for so cheap. I think I got it on Amazon. They were doing a special sale last year. I think I got it for like $19. $19. Now, give or take, this is only 12 issues, but it looks so good. I've read through this like 3 times, and every time I just have a blast. It's a very fast-paced read. I really recommend this. I will give it a 4 out of 5, simply because the art is a 5 out of 5. And even if the story is a 3 or a 3.5 out of 5, balancing that out, we're giving it a 4 out of 5. So, if you haven't picked this up, go get it before it is out of print. It could go out of print at any moment, but at the point, if you can get it for 20, 30, even $40, it is very much worth it. Go check this out.